So the reason why you're so freaking triggered and there's so much traumatic moments that are reoccurring in your life is because you've never really taken the time to say, what two things, what are some things that are really screwing me up in the world? What happened in my life that was so traumatic to where I'm holding it in? Like, just write it down, a couple of things that have really changed the trajectory of who you are as a person. And I think it's really important to understand I'm only triggered by my traumas. And if I don't know what my hot buttons are, people can go around messing with me all day, emotionally, mentally, physically, and I not really know what's going on. So it's best for you to say, okay, what has happened in my life that I really need to take a look at? That's the first thing. We're going to go over 4 things today that are going to help you deal with why it is that you are being constantly triggered by your emotional instabilities, right? The first thing is recognizing what a couple of those things are. What are those things, right? Take some time and say, was it when I was a kid, when I was in middle school, high school? What happened in my life that changed me forever? Okay. The second thing, that's the first thing you're going to need to do. The second thing you're going to do is what's the most important to me. You're going to say to yourself, I need help. Gerald, what do I need to do? What is your coaching program like? How much does it cost? Looking at therapy, going through the motions, making sure that you are healing your traumas so you don't walk around being triggered by the rest of the world. Heal your traumas so you don't have to walk around being triggered by the rest of the world. And that's important because everyone can just push your buttons because you're triggered. You're emotionally unstable because you haven't had the time or you haven't respected your life enough to say, you know what, these things that have happened to me in my childhood, whether it was molestation, whether it was rape, whether it was, assault, whatever it was that changed you, have you went and sought help? Have you got with a counselor? Have you got with a life coach like myself? Have you got with a mentor like myself? Have you gone to therapy? What have you done to change the trajectory of what the trauma did to you? That's the second thing, right? Getting help, realizing that I need help because I've been traumatically injured emotionally in my past, right? What's going to be the third thing? The third thing you're going to do is spending some time and looking at the things that really upset you and ask yourself, is this happening to me every day? Why am I allowing? This is the third thing. You need to do the self-assessment on why is it that I'm allowing something that isn't currently happening to me affect me right now? Why am I doing that? Why am I allowing something that doesn't currently it's not happening? Why am I allowing this to affect me in such a way? And because here's the deal. When you say, why am I allowing it? This is your ability to realize that the trauma is there because the issue keeps coming up. If there was nothing there, the issue wouldn't even arise. And you need to spend time and say, okay, wait a minute. What is this trauma doing to me? Who am I becoming because I haven't got a life coach? How much time have I wasted because I haven't spent time with a mentor, with a coach like Gerald to say, where am I going and how can we get there? I want to help you get to the next stage of your life. I want to help you get rid of your traumatic traumas and your triggers because it's important. I think healthy individuals are a great society to live in. So don't be afraid to reach out for help and say, you know what? I've noticed that some things have happened to me in my life and I've never properly addressed it. Have you properly addressed the traumas that have happened to you in your life? Have you properly addressed emotionally, mentally, and spiritually the traumas that have happened in your life? If not, guess what? You're going to be triggered a lot. By a lot of people, by a lot of things, people, places, environments. Things are going to shift your energy because the trauma lives in your body. It lives in your cells. It lives in your memories. You can smell something that will take you back to that moment and you relive it all over again. The trauma also, when you don't capture your trauma and address it respectfully, you will bring your trauma in your past and your baggage with you to your relationship, your future relationships, if they exist. You will bring that trauma in your past to your job. You'll bring it into raising your children. You'll bring it into every aspect of your life, not even realizing, wait a minute, I'm triggered by my trauma because I just haven't healed yet. I'm triggered by my trauma because I haven't healed. I haven't addressed it. So of course certain things are going to piss me off and I don't even know why. Oh my God, this person said something. It's because the trauma hasn't been addressed. So if you want to know why you're triggered, it's because the trauma is still there. Say it out. We'll say it together. I am triggered by my traumas. We'll say it again. I am triggered by, thank you so much. I saw that. I appreciate it. I am triggered by my trauma. Yeah. That means that people can poke at you and think, yeah, that's the third thing. The fourth thing that you need to work on to help you fix your triggers by your trauma, your emotional triggers, you're going to find out what's been emotionally dragging you down. What is it that you get up every day and you feel like I'm really fighting for my life emotionally dealing with this thing? What is that thing in your life that constantly haunts you, that just doesn't seem to go away? What is that thing? Only you know what it is. You don't have to tell me, right? But what is that thing in your life that if you could just emotionally get a grips on, it could be emotionally eating, it could be spending money, gambling, drinking. What is it that you were just like, I really just, if I could just get a hold of it, because that's probably where the trauma is. If you can realize what it is daily that's poking at you, that's probably the trauma. Your emotional baggage that you're carrying around every single day, it triggers you. So not only do other people trigger you, but you trigger you because you're carrying around the same lens, the same baggage, the same information of the trauma. You're carrying that information with you. You're carrying that moment with you. And it's not necessary. Your past trauma can just stay there. You don't have to bring what happened to you when you're a 5-year-old little girl. You don't have to take that memory with you until you're 35. You can leave that memory today and you can capture a new moment and say, look at who I've become in spite of the sexual assault, the abuse, the neglect. Look who I've become because I've decided to fix the traumas and no longer be triggered. Look who I've become. And that's a choice you get to make every single day. You can live in your trauma and be triggered. I'm going to say that again. You can live in your trauma and be triggered every single day. Or you can get help. You can get a life coach. You can get a mentor that says, hey, you know what? I really want to be a better person. I want to fix my trauma. I want to address my trauma so I'm not being triggered in relationships. So I'm not being triggered at my job. So I'm not being triggered in interactions. And I don't even know why I'm upset at someone that I don't even know. I saw a girl the other day look at me as if she knew me. I saw her. She saw me. And the disgust she had on her face as if I, took something from her or we know each other. And I was thinking to myself, what an awful life to live where someone you don't even know just disgusts you. You know how angry you have to be to just look at someone who breathes the same air as you and a level of disgust as if they did something to you and you don't even know them. This is what trauma does to people. It was a girl. I'm a man. So you don't like me because I'm a guy? I don't even know you. But you look at me and I look at you and you frown up and you're so upset. And I smile because I have no idea why you're upset, lady. People are triggered every day. It's fascinating. And again, it's not healthy to walk around and not be able to have relationships, intimate relationships with people, closeness because of your traumas, because of your triggers. So my advice is to say, you know what, Gerald, I need help. How much is a coaching program? How much is a coaching plan? When do I get started? What do I need to do to step into the river of change and remove myself from my traumas? What do I need to do? Because I'm ready. What do I need to do? Okay. So thank you guys so much. It's been another amazing episode of Fearless Conversations, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Later.